In today's episode, plunge into the smoke of fierce battles where empires clashed, a capital burned, and a nation fought to survive. In July 1776, 13 colonies boldly declared their independence from the British Crown. General George Washington struggled to keep his ragtag Continental Army fed and unified. The winter at Valley Forge tested the resolve of the desperate American soldiers. A turning point arrived at Saratoga, securing a crucial alliance with France. French naval support proved decisive as the conflict ground on for years. In 1781, British forces surrendered to Washington at Yorktown, Virginia. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 officially recognized the United States. A new nation emerged, free but burdened with immense debts and division. This fragile union now faced the daunting task of self-governance. Under the Articles of Confederation, the young government lacked central authority. Shays' rebellion in Massachusetts exposed the deep weaknesses of the national system. In 1787, delegates gathered in Philadelphia to revise the failing articles. Instead of revising, they drafted an entirely new, revolutionary United States Constitution. Fierce debates erupted between the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists over power. To secure ratification, a Bill of Rights was promised to the citizens. By 1788, the Constitution was ratified, establishing a strong federal government. George Washington was unanimously elected as the first president of the nation. In 1789, the new government officially began its work in New York. Alexander Hamilton proposed a bold financial plan to establish national credit. Thomas Jefferson strongly opposed Hamilton, fearing the rise of federal tyranny. The Whiskey Rebellion of 1794 tested Washington's resolve to enforce federal law. John Adams succeeded Washington, inheriting a tense diplomatic crisis with revolutionary France. The XYZ affair sparked public outrage and led to an undeclared naval war. Adams signed the controversial Alien and Sedition Acts to suppress political dissent. These restrictive laws sparked intense debate over the limits of federal power. The bitter election of 1800 resulted in a peaceful transfer of political power. Thomas Jefferson assumed the presidency, championing the agrarian American ideal. In 1803, Jefferson purchased the vast Louisiana Territory from Napoleon Bonaparte. This massive acquisition instantly doubled the geographic size of the United States. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark embarked on an epic Western expedition. They charted the unknown wilderness, reaching the distant Pacific Ocean. Meanwhile, rising tensions on the high seas threatened American economic independence. British Royal Navy ships repeatedly seized American sailors and merchant vessels. Jefferson's Embargo Act of 1807 devastated the domestic shipping economy instead. James Madison succeeded Jefferson as international pressures continued to escalate rapidly. Warhawks in Congress loudly demanded action to defend American honor. In 1812, the United States declared war on Great Britain once again. The early conflict saw disastrous American invasions of British-controlled Canada. At sea, American frigates achieved stunning victories against the British Navy. In 1814, British forces marched on Washington and burned the White House. Francis Scott Key penned the Star-Spangled Banner during the bombardment of Baltimore. Peace was finally negotiated in Europe with the signing of the Treaty of Ghent. Before news of peace arrived, Andrew Jackson won a stunning victory at New Orleans. The battle instantly transformed Jackson into a legendary national hero. The War of 1812 fostered a powerful new wave of American patriotism. A period of political unity emerged, known as the Era of Good Feelings. Industrialization began to transform the northern economy through textile mills. Eli Whitney's cotton gin revolutionized the agricultural economy of the South. This economic shift deeply entrenched the brutal system of plantation slavery. Sectional tensions flared over the admission of Missouri as a slave state. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 temporarily balanced the Senate representation. President James Monroe declared the Americas closed to further European colonization. The construction of the Erie Canal connected Western farms to Eastern markets. By 1828, a fierce new political division split the American electorate. Andrew Jackson swept into the White House, championing the common man. Jackson's presidency ushered in an era of expanded white male suffrage. In 1830, Jackson signed the tragic and controversial Indian Removal Act. Thousands of Native Americans were forcibly marched along the devastating Trail of Tears. South Carolina sparked the nullification crisis over federal tariff laws. Jackson threatened military force to preserve the supremacy of the Union. He also waged a bitter, successful war against the Second Bank of the United States. Financial instability followed, leading to a severe economic depression. Martin Van Buren inherited this financial crisis upon taking office in 1837. Settlers pushed westward along the arduous Oregon and Santa Fe trails. In 1845, the United States officially annexed the Republic of Texas. The concept of manifest destiny inspired a belief in providential expansion. Border disputes with Mexico quickly escalated into a full-scale war. American forces invaded Mexico, capturing Mexico City in 1847. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ceded vast southwestern lands to America. This immense conquest renewed the explosive national debate over slavery's expansion. The discovery of gold in California triggered a massive global migration. Thousands of prospectors rushed westward, seeking fortunes in the wilderness. California's rapid growth forced Congress to address its statehood petition. Henry Clay negotiated the complex and controversial Compromise of 1850. The Fugitive Slave Act outraged Northern abolitionists, escalating regional anger. Harriet Beecher Stowe published Uncle Tom's Cabin, exposing slavery's horrors. The novel galvanized Northern public opinion against the institution of slavery. In 1854, Senator Stephen Douglas proposed the fateful Kansas-Nebraska Act. The law allowed popular sovereignty to decide the expansion of slavery. This decision effectively overturned the long-standing Missouri Compromise. The Whig Party collapsed, paving the way for the anti-slavery Republican Party. Violent clashes erupted in bleeding Kansas between opposing political factions. In 1857, the Supreme Court issued the infamous Dred Scott decision. The court ruled that African Americans held no constitutional citizenship rights. John Brown led a dramatic raid on the Harper's Ferry Armory in 1859. Brown's execution deeply polarized the nation, making him a martyr. The presidential election of 1860 pushed the fractured nation to its limit. Abraham Lincoln won the presidency without a single Southern electoral vote. Angered and fearful, South Carolina prepared to secede from the Union. By December 1860, the United States stood on the brink of civil war.